started. Look at here. Shedeur Sanders was putting in work on yesterday with Boo, and guess who? A former wide receiver with Shedeur of the Colorado football team. Xavier Weaver flew to Las Vegas to work out with Shedeur Sanders. Man, I'm telling you, that's a good thing to see that they still have a bond and a connection since they've been playing together at Colorado.
Nobody saw this coming. Not the Cleveland media, not the doubters, and definitely not the people who spent a whole year trying to bury Shedeur Sanders. Because right now, a workout video is breaking the internet, and buried inside it is a question nobody in Cleveland wants to answer. A question so simple, yet so devastating that it might just expose everything the Browns have been hiding. But what happens next, it gets a lot messier than anyone expected.
Shedeur Sanders' personal friend, Boo, who's filming them. So, the question is, will Shedeur Sanders be QB1? Did Shedeur Sanders do enough last year to prove to the Cleveland Browns that he should be QB1? I just believe he did. The 7 game that Shedeur Sanders went out there with a bad offensive line, no playmakers, no running game, tight end injury, and still somehow put his team in a position to win 3 games and won the 3 games.
Shedeur Sanders is in Las Vegas. No cameras from ESPN, no NFL Network crew. Just him, a football, and a familiar face. Xavier Weaver. His former teammate from Colorado, now a receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, heading into year 3. And the two of them still grinding, still connected, still building something together. That bond didn't just disappear when they went their separate ways in the draft. It got stronger. But here's where things get interesting, because while Shedeur was out there putting in work in the middle of the offseason, the entire Cleveland Browns quarterback conversation was quietly boiling over. Let's rewind. Last season, Shedeur Sanders didn't get handed anything. He got thrown into the fire. A patchwork offensive line, ranked near the bottom of the entire league, no real running game to lean on, a banged-up tight end room, basically no margin of error, and still, somehow, he kept Cleveland in games. 3 wins, 1 more nearly stolen right out of under a divisional opponent. Now ask yourself something. How many rookies walk into that kind of chaos and don't fall apart? Not many. Here's where the story turns. Because when the numbers came out, it wasn't Browns fans making the loudest noise, it was national media. Colin Cowherd, no stranger to blunt takes, came out and said the debate was basically over. He pointed to the stretch where Shedeur, playing behind one of the worst offensive lines in football, actually outproduced Josh Allen in that same stretch. Let that sink in. Not close to, not similar to, ahead of an MVP caliber quarterback in that specific stretch. And Cowherd didn't stop there. He said if it were up to him, he'd trade away proven stars just to go get Shedeur Sanders. That's not a small take. That's the kind of statement that ends debates on live television.
Veterans on the roster that we haven't really thought too much about in terms of, in terms of breaking out this year. I can't think of anyone that hasn't already been kind of bandied about and talked about a lot. We know that Harold Fannin is going to have another great season. We know that Quinn Shawn is getting healthy and he's poised to come back very, very strong. The X factor, I think, would be Shedeur. I mean, that's the one where we just don't know yet if he's going to win the job, and if he does, if he's going to be able to build on what he did last year.
Now pay attention to this. If a rookie quarterback outperforms an MVP-level passer in a key stat with a worse roster around him, why is his starting job still being treated like a coin flip? That's the part that doesn't add up. Because when other young quarterbacks flash that kind of production, the conversation shifts immediately. The job becomes theirs. No fine print, no asterisks. But with Shedeur, somehow it's still, we'll see. That's not analysis anymore. That's a double standard playing out in real time. Local Cleveland radio has started saying the quiet part out loud too. One Browns insider put it plainly, when you look around the roster for players who could break out this year, most of the names are obvious. The rookies, the known veterans, but then there's Shedeur. He called him the wild card, the unknown, the guy nobody can confidently project because the job itself hasn't been locked down yet. Translation, the talent isn't the question anymore, the opportunity is, and that's a very different conversation than the one the outside world has been having about him. Here's where the projections get bold. If Shedeur Sanders starts all 17 games this season, no midseason benching, no rotating door at quarterback, some analysts are throwing out serious numbers, somewhere around 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, interceptions kept in single digits, maybe 5 to 7 for the whole year. That's not a flash-in-the-pan rookie follow-up. That's a legitimate breakout season, the kind that shuts down a debate for good. But it all comes with one massive condition. He has to be given the keys. Game 1, full season, no excuses.
Family, rest up. Listen, July the 28th is when training camp start for the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders report to the Cleveland Browns facility for training camp, and they're going to be in pads on July the 28th. I can't wait. I don't know about y'all, but I can't wait. But once again, thank you for watching Sports Talk with B. Watts. It's the late night edition. Drop your state in the comment section. Let me know that you're rocking with Sports Talk. Will be what?
This is the part that should really worry the skeptics. It's not just outside analysts buzzing about Shedeur. It's the building. Teammates already circling him as one of the guys who levels up this year. Receivers, tight ends, even veterans who've seen quarterbacks come and go. There's a quiet confidence forming around him inside that facility. And in the NFL, that kind of internal belief, it usually shows up before the stat sheet ever catches up. Mark this date. July 28th. That's when Shedeur Sanders reports to Cleveland Browns training camp. That's when all the offseason workouts, all the hot takes, all the what-if conversations get tested for real. No more highlight clips from Vegas. No more quotes from radio hosts defending him from 3,000 miles away. Just pads, reps, and a coaching staff that finally has to make a decision. Because after everything, the 7-game stretch, the outdated offensive line, the national media flipping in his favor, there's really only one question left. Will they finally hand him the job he's already proven he can handle? Whether you love Shedeur Sanders or you still doubt him, one thing is getting harder and harder to deny. Every single time the league counted him out, he found a way to make people believe again. A rough offensive line didn't stop him. A short-handed receiver room didn't stop him. An entire media cycle built on skepticism didn't stop him. And now, heading into training camp, the pressure isn't on Shedeur Sanders anymore. It's on the people still pretending they haven't seen enough. Because if anything this offseason has proven, it's that betting against Shedeur Sanders might be the most dangerous bet in football. Drop your state in the comments if you're riding with him this season. And if you believe 2026 is the year everything changes for Shedeur Sanders, smash that like button before you go.